Okay, this is day 3 of Strange Horticulture. I have turned the music off because turns out the music gets you a copyright claim on YouTube, and that means you've got to run ads, which I don't want to do. I'm going to pet the cat. People keep telling me to pet the cat. Oh, that's a nice purring noise. This one glows. Was it always glowing? This is a new clue, I think. So we've got row H, Third River, north of Hawkshead, east of Lowick, west of Ruston, south of Crinkle Crags. Do you think all those things are individually true of the same place? Or is there some significance to the fact that these are in the top and these are in the bottom? I think we should look at the map. Oh yeah, I've got this weird thing where it's hard to make it unfold sometimes. I don't know, do you want to put it in the middle? The side? Do you want to zoom in? Should I get rid of the book? What's it going to take, map? Come on. Right click? Oh, that did work. I don't think I did that in the past, though. Alright, Hawkshead, Lowick, Ruston, Crinkle Crags. I see Rustland. I see Lowick. Okay, so let's just look at those. East of Lowick and west of Rustland. Huh. Well, that's a pretty narrow band. It's right there. North of Hawkshead. Hawkshead's all the way over here, so that's Rustland and Lowick. It's just the crease of the map, isn't it? That's the area we're talking, which is convenient. North of Hawkshead. If it's south of Crinkle Crags. Crinkle Crags. I bet it's not going to be lined up usefully. I see a crag over here. But is that Crinkle Crags? I'm sort of wondering if there's like I need another map. But this river ends in row H. I think maybe they are doing the thing where this is upside down. And so it ends in row H but from the other direction. But I still don't see anything, especially not on that crease. North of Hawkshead. We know exactly where we're talking. But Crinkle Crags doesn't have to be on that line because it's just being used as a north-south reference point. But it would have to, hang on. If it's north of Hawkshead and south of Crinkle Crags, then oh, there's Crinkle Crags. It's right there. I'm so sorry. It's been there all along. It's much closer than I thought it would be. I suppose that makes sense because the other two are also very close together. So we're talking here and here. Alright, I mean, then it's this. Let's do it. There's probably a few cells it could be, but this one just sort of feels like it's the end of a river, which feels relevant. My eyes are drawn to the silhouette of a grizzled old man standing at the edge of a field. His mind is broken, seemingly beyond repair. How are you diagnosing that at first glance? Vacant eyes fixate on nothing, a whisper of an expression as my gaze sweeps his face, but only a whisper. He raises his arm, points. I follow his outstretched finger, and I'm surprised to find a cluster of wildflowers going ahead from view. I feel like the end of every story is going to be, and then I found a nice flower! Okay, that one we already had, right? Didn't we? Or am I just thinking of that leaf shape with a different colour? Was that it? Did I do it? Yeah, the clues are gone. So that's it. And that was both clues, was it? No. No. Interesting. Okay. This one is still there. Alright. Well, given that this was the day 1 clue, and we just solved the day 2 clue with what we have, it doesn't make a lot of sense if this is unsolvable. It seems like they do just want us to solve it. What was this one? This is the sisterhood thing. So maybe, I mean, I missed something there for a long time. I couldn't see Crinkle Crags when it was right under my nose. Maybe I'm missing something with row H. I think a river that ends on row H. Let's just go across it. This doesn't end on row H. But maybe it's not as spatial. Maybe this is just the heading of the card. And we're not meant to sort of associate it with where the river ends. It's just like, look along row H and you're looking for the third river. I mean, that island looks the closest. It's not right because that island is dead in the center of this thing, and this island is on the side. But that kink is also very exaggerated. If you rotated it, it seems like it could be not too far off. Thing is, the headland forms a kind of, don't know what you call that shape, but a foot, I suppose. And this does not, so it's not that. Perhaps it literally just means look along row H and it's the third river. and then you're looking for the end of it. So there's the end of the third river along row H. But then third from the left, that's a supposition on my part. You're having to bring a lot to it. But then I suppose the label of H is from there. If someone's looking at this same map, this might be how they phrase it. So maybe it's just on row H. Just here's the thing. This seems to me to be saying find the third river and then go to the end of it. Am I just fixating on this end for no reason? Perhaps this is the important part, because that text is sort of placed intentionally, I would say. They could have cut the image off and had the text at the bottom if they wanted to just get 2 bits of text on there. Whereas this could be up there just because it's the header of the card. So I'm thinking like third river along. If I'm wrong to fixate on the end, then it's just third river along. But then what the hell is the picture for? Like, the zoom. Oh my god, how are you supposed to... So, ignore it for a second. I'm just going to make sure I'm at max zoom. You can't even tell because it keeps moving. I mean, there's trees obscuring the river there, which means it could be hiding that little kink, but I don't think so. Why tell me row H? Only if the actual answer is on row H, right? I mean, in real terms, you just go for the end of this river because it's a river that ends on row H. But then what would third river be about? Doesn't really make any sense, does it? If you go along row H, you hit 3 rivers pretty sharpish. Maybe it's literally just that. Should I just try that spot? I don't like it if that's the solution, but we'll find out something. A dead... Oh, that was it! That was it! What the fuck was the diagram about? Why did it look so different to what the actual river looks like? A dead deer in the river, yellow bone protruding from matted hide and rotting flesh. Death for one provides life for many. It's probably going to be a fungus, isn't it? Nope. Okay, that one we did have. We absolutely already had that. Do we have 2 of them now, or...? Yes. Oh, it's slightly different. It just looks like an older version of this. No, it's different leaves, I suppose. Maybe as we get more plants, there's going to be a lot of overlap. If you thought I overfixated on this before I solved it, just you wait, because I'm still on this. Why the hell? What was that diagram? What? Is there some spot? Is it something to do with that? It was such a specific drawing of a river, and yet the place it wanted us to go to doesn't look like that, and doesn't have that anywhere along its length. And even if, let's say, that it does look like that behind those trees, we didn't have to go to the trees, so that's a useless bit of information. I don't understand that at all. That's so weird. What was the picture for? Maybe it's just like a stock art of a river. Like, they couldn't afford, like the people in this world who are leaving clues couldn't afford to commission an artist to do a custom drawing, so they had to go on iStock to find some reference photos of a river. I wish I understood that. It was so specific, and yet I solved it without knowing anything. And it's not just, I'm not just saying that because I got a plant out of it. It literally got rid of the clue. It's saying, yes, you got it. You solved the puzzle without understanding a puzzle at all. I have one of my game ideas involves a map and sort of deduction about where things are, so I'm super interested in this, and the the degree to which I attempted to engage with that clue is the sort of thing that I would like to put in a game. It doesn't seem like this game is going to be doing that kind of thing. My will to explore is infinite, apparently. I've done it a bunch. Oh, do you think every time you find something successfully, it doesn't expire? That could be true. We can go see the witches, because we got this wrong before, didn't we? Find us deep in Grisdale Forest, a mile from Lakeshore, across from Torva. So, I made an incorrect assumption here. Oof. So, across the lake from Torva, and what do they say? It's a mile from the lake shore. And what did I do wrong? I think did I choose here? Because I was counting like that's a mile, so now we're here. When really it should be like, that's a mile, and it's the center of this cell. I think that's why I ended up concluding, is that's what I should have done. A sister tries to stop me from entering, but I show her the letter and she lets me through. I am ushered into a walled courtyard and then through a large oak door, along a corridor, and down a set of stone stairs into the cool basement. Lying on a table draped in silk is the Ada. There is not a mark on her, but her open eyes are black, her mouth, her veins, her hair, all black as a raven's wing. Do you know what could do this? Asked my escort. I set to work. Okay. This is a bit more open-ended. Oh no, wait, it's telling me what to do. For fuck's sake. Can you, like, challenge me a bit to, like, I just look it up. Alright, I suppose the challenge is to find it in my collection now, so. The long leaves of the wren are known to turn black in the presence of certain poisons, and so could be used to detect them. Although it has no flower, it is said to smell unpleasant to those who have known death, and sweet to those who have not. Ooh. So I've got to know what my character has. Oh wait, I've inherited this from my dead uncle, so I'm going to guess that I have known death. Okay, so long leaves. It doesn't say there's a flower, but that doesn't mean there's not a flower. So all we've got is long leaves, basically. What about this? No, nothing on its smell. I've just got to assume the microscope is going to tell us about the smell, because if it doesn't, we've got nothing to go on. These look too rounded to me, but I'll give it a go. Let me do this systematically and move the ones I've tried already to a spot. That long flat leaves. That is what I thought as well. How about this one? They smell wonderful. Interesting. Oh wait, it has no flower. I'm so sorry. It did specifically say. I'm such an idiot. It specifically said that it has no flower. Doesn't really look the same, does it? I'm kind of doubting that I have it. I don't have that many plants that don't have a flower. There's this one, but those leaves are nothing like it. There's that one, which I just tried. I should put it to the side. Oh, wait. What about this? Scent that scratches the back of my throat. Unpleasant. Yeah. How do we feel about that? They are kind of wibbly leaves. They don't sort of fold as sharply as this one does, but it's a plant with no flower. The smell clue is there. It's not quite what I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear that it smells bad, not that it scratches me. But I'm going to give it a go. Wait, let me just check that I don't have like a... Oh, what are you doing over there? Butterdale. I think it's my best bet, and I sort of think the game isn't going to point me to stories that I just don't have the plants for yet at this point. So I will give it a go. I extract a sample of the Ada's blood and introduce it to the wren, and my suspicions are confirmed immediately. The leaves of the wren turn black, which can only mean one thing: gilded dendra poisoning. Upon presenting my findings, I am rushed away quickly. The sisters do not want me hanging around it seems. Oh, sorry, do not want me hanging around, it seems. They do, however, send me on my way with a couple of plants, which I am grateful for. This is such a fucking, like, plot. Like, it's already going somewhere, but it's still just like, and then I found some pretty plants. Grey Sandfire. So that's like the new page in the book. That's not necessarily the thing I was just given. Cool. Okay, it might finally be time for a customer. Wilbur Miller. I'm looking for a plant, Lady of What's-It, something or other. I'm no green-eyed Dreya, that's for sure. My mind isn't at all what it used to be. It's the one that's supposed to help with mental decline. Aw. Lady of something, mental decline. Got it. There aren't that many ladies. I think there's Lady of Summer. I think that's it. Lady of Summer, leaves curl around delightfully, combined with an attractive flower and a hardy nature make this a sought-after ornamental plant. Aids with conditions of memory deterioration. It looks like one of these two. Oh, turns out I've already labelled it. Good stuff. Fennit! Hey! Isn't that one that the guy gave me? And he told me what it was when he gave it to me, but I just forgot. Of course, now I don't remember which plant he gave me. Chewing the tough fruit of this plant is said to ease gastric distress and reduce anxiety. It has long, soft leaves. You know, that sounds familiar. Didn't this one have long, soft leaves? Nope. I wish you could just chain them. Leaves are quite soft. It's not enough to go on, is it? Alright, never mind. New customer, David Schaefer. Oh, it's the postman. They're saying the Ard has been killed. I know a lot of people don't trust that sisterhood, but it seemed to me the Ard always looked out for the less fortunate. The cold is too much to bear beyond the gap. I was forced to turn back. I would advise against it, but if you are determined to explore the Great Gable, be sure to take precautions. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll have a plant up your sleeve that can keep you warm should the weather turn against you. Amos Duncan. Is he the guy who got left for dead and then I didn't really care and showed up and just took a flower? I think it is. Beyond the Gap. The Gap. Is there a local branch of the Gap here? Great Gable is the other name that it gave. That sounds more like something I'm going to see on this map. Is this the guy who was in... this is a bit of a testimony. Was he in Backbarrow? Or was it someone else? Scanning a map. Oh, there's the Great Gable. I was about to say it's terrible video content because if anyone sees it before you, they're just going to be real frustrated waiting for you to notice it. If you're determined to explore Great Gable. Okay, so the gap must be near Great Gable. Oof, oof, oof. What are you on? There's a gap in the mountains. I don't really think that feels like what he's talking about. I think really we don't need to worry about the gap. I think it's just we know where we're going, Great Gable, and all that matters is can you stay warm? I'm looking at the wrong letter. The second thing that matters is can you stay warm? And like off the top of my head, I don't remember anything that keeps you warm, but we could sort of browse. Maybe it would be reasonable to assume that it's something we haven't ticked off yet. Maybe we should assume it is. Okay, this is very fire themed. Sandfire has a tough outer bark which has many useful properties. Some chew it as a form of dental hygiene. The flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent, adding to the impression of a roaring fire. None of that actually says it keeps you warm. It's forest camphor. Soporific. I'm not going to go through just everything if I can't find it easily. Mellow glow sounds kind of warming. Oh, makes you invisible. That's good to know. Oh, there's multiple pages, isn't there? I wonder if winter boar could be something to do with it. Insect repellent. There could be one I've already found. Alright, no. No answer is forthcoming, I'll just keep an eye out for that. Norman Lee, this plant is cursed. It has brought me nothing but sorrow. Please take it, I want to learn to do it. But you did kind of say it was cursed. I guess I gotta. Looks a lot like something I already had. Oh, it's looks like the Wandering Boo. Let's look at it. Mushroom-like plant with red spores growing on it. That's not much to go on. It will be one I haven't identified. Let me just like leaf through and look for mushrooms. Farmer's Worry. Spongy mushroom with potent abilities, only safe to consume in small quantities. Grants great strength at the expense of severe fatigue. Just looking for mushrooms. That's a mushroom, but it's not the right one. Burns noisily. Storian is poisonous. Cross section of the stem. I guess mushrooms have stems. Not enough to go on there, is there? Alright, no. Can't identify that. Simone, isn't that my librarian friend? Hellebore. Hope she hasn't been nibbling the plants again. Damn it, I didn't know she did that. Would have been banned from the shop. Only for the hours I spent digging out the information on those plants. Sure. I've been burning the midnight oil again and could use some common trouse, and I know where to find it. According to Grayson's herbology, it grows in abundance on Red Pike. I'll come by the day after tomorrow to collect it. I have business in Sidburg in the meantime. Okay, Red Pike. That'll be an entry on it. Okay, it's used as a balm against eye strain. That feels intentional. And there's Red Pike. Okay, we're closing it apparently. Yeah, let's just go there. I enjoy a pleasant stroll up the fell. The going is easy, the weather agreeable, and the views majestic. I do not have to look hard to find what I'm after. Well, let's label it. I have already forgotten what she asked for. Oh, so I didn't really see where it went. Was it this one? Oh god. Oh god, my short-term memory is abysmal and it's not helping right now. My brain does a thing where like it sort of marks certain information as like that's a matter of public record. I don't need to store that information. I'll just disregard it because I don't know. It was on screen at the time. I kind of thought it would go into a log or something maybe. And now it was definitely just a leafy one, wasn't it? I think it must be this. No flowers, sparse leaves. She gave me the entry, didn't she? When I see the name again, common trouse. That's what she asked for. Despite being yada yada, leaves have been used as balm against eye strain. I think it's just that. I don't think I have any other way of being more certain of that. This is definitely the name. Well, it's definitely the page she added to my book, and I'm pretty sure it's what she said. In fact, yeah, there's the Red Pike thing. And I think that's what... Yeah, some of those pairings of leaves look pretty close to that. Verona Green. When you work with the occult, I find it pays to uphold a certain image. Alright. If you're going to be accused of performing witchcraft anyway, it doesn't hurt to put on a bit of a show every now and then. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, sort of thing. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, sort of thing. Long story short, I may have threatened to turn a small boy into a toad, and the bugger called my bluff. So now you have to turn him into a toad? Oh, don't look at me like that, you know what little boys are like. I don't, actually. I can assure you who deserves to be turned into a toad. Anyway, I think a little display is needed to discourage this sort of behaviour in future. Have you got any Shimmerlong? I know that name well. I looked at it just a few minutes ago. Although I didn't actually check that I understand what it is. Okay, it's a tubey one. It's the one that burns noisily. Flowers grow wrapped in large... Oh, I thought it was a fungus. Okay. So these are leaves? Tubey things. Yeah, colour would be helpful here. Tubey things. Like, do you think that is the flower and in context leaves would be wrapped around it? Or do you think this is a picture of the leaves within which there is supposedly a flower? It mentions that the light is white purple. I wonder if the flowers are too. It's not something like that, is it? No, that's pretty different. Because from that diagram I would have guessed fungus, but when they talk about flowers, I think not fungus. Could it be this? It doesn't look like it, does it? Mainly wood smoke. Oh, I wonder if that's the samphire one. I can come back to Shimmerlung. Let me just check that, because that grey sandfire. Tough outer bark, many useful properties. Flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent. Yeah, it looks like a fire too, doesn't it? I think that's sandfire. Like rough glass paper. Yeah. Tough outer bark. It doesn't actually say rough outer bark, but I think the wood smoke thing is pretty specific. Let's label that while we're here. Also eliminates it from our inquiries. What? Oh, I've got to actually get that drawing up again. Shimmerlung. I don't really see how that's going to turn him into a toad, by the way. Oh, look at this. This is it. That is the flower, and there's leaves around it. Yeah, my first interpretation was that what we were being shown was the leaves surrounding a flower. Yep, I'm gonna give you that. Now let's tell you about candlewood. Produces a red flower that has a shielding effect. Ooh. Let me label Shimmerlung before I forget. But that candlewood was interesting. Where did the Shimmerlung go? Oh, there it is. I think this game could benefit a lot from some transition animations. I think, like, maybe it's doing some of that, but it's not enough for me. Oh, you can drag them to the labels instead of dragging the labels to them. I don't know if that's better. It might be nice to just sort all these like into identified and not identified. Like, if I was to... Let me see... Oh, I'm watering things now, apparently. That doesn't seem to be a thing. Like, it doesn't seem to matter whether you water them or not, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let me just get all the non-identifieds over here. And the labelled ones over here. Starting to tap into the organizing impulse. Yeah, I can. It's easier to move labels further right than it is to move all of the unidentifieds further left. There's a trap with sorting systems where if you sort it, if you make an oversight when you're sorting it, it can be much worse than making an oversight when you're checking for something later, because you start to trust your system, and if your system is flawed, that's absolutely fatal. That's it, isn't it? Everything here is a label. Everything there does not. I have a lot more unidentified things than identified. Okay, and shit, I have forgotten the name of the thing. Candlewood. I mean, candlewood sounds like it's going to keep you warm, doesn't it? Red flower provides a shielding effect, protecting against all manner of afflictions of the mind. Oh. I think at a glance I thought I saw the word wind, and I was thinking something warm. Shielding effect. It specifies afflictions of the mind. The thing we're talking about is not of the mind, it's physical. Okay. Somebody did suggest that I should just like go to random places with my will to explore, so I could do that. Could check out the stone circle. Nobody knows why these stone circles were built standing in this tranquil place. Oh, but standing in this tranquil place, it's not hard to imagine the pagan rituals being performed here. Cool. Ruth Douglas. There is a beautiful plant I've been looking for all over, but nobody seems to have any. M something? Monk brew? I'm not sure. I do know that you shouldn't touch the leaves, though. Let's see. I think Meek Dew sounds like monk brew. Yeah, that's closest. If this says something about not touching the leaves. The beautiful flowers made up of many smaller florets make this a sought after decorative plant that is difficult to care for. Maybe a pleasant looking plant, but touching the leaves up against bare skin will cause some painful sores. Yes. So, amongst our unidentified ones, dark blue flowers. Yeah, I think this might be a misleading picture. It might be looking for something like this, where it's sort of like a bushy flower. There's a lot of subflowers. Hey, those do look like it. Small leaves, delicate flowers. Not enough to go on, is it? Made up of many small florets. I mean, that does sound right. That's not, is it? With that one, the zoom is just about enough that you can see the shape of the smaller things that make it up. And with this one, it's not identified, so we know it's not one of the labelled ones. Let's check this one out. No, those aren't flowers, are they? I think this is the only thing I have where it's like the flower is made up of smaller flowers. I wish there was something about the leaves here. Like, it's just no mention of that. I think I will give it a go. Alright. Make you. Let me. Oh, that labelling system doesn't work anyway. You, sir, are getting moved to the sorted section. Okay, good end day. Maybe we'll go on one little trip before the end of the day. I feel like, you know, it's tempting to go to towns and stuff. But if you're going plant hunting, then nature is a better bet. But maybe if you go to the towns that people like give you stuff. So I'm in Undermere currently. I wonder what happens if you just sort of decide to go to your own city. Let's see. The streets of Undermere are narrow and claustrophobic. In many places, the buildings lean out at the upper floors so that neighbours... Oh, this is the intro to the game. Okay, just repeats the intro. Fair enough. Can't ask for more. Yeah, let's get a new clue. Ooh, this one's torn. Ooh, that is not a lot to go on. Time passed, a year, then another. The book remained hidden, but out of sight. Oh, but out of sight did not mean out of mind. The book was what her thoughts settled on when she rested, what she brooded over when she did her chores, what she pictured when she dreamed. I think we can go back to the previous ones now. Started when she found something she wasn't meant to find. Tucked away in Ambleside Library. Maybe I should go to Ambleside Library. The book terrified her. I'm really curious if this is Simone that we're talking about here. She would never use the power. She would hide the book. This new passage gives us nothing. And this clue looks like the most obtuse one yet. Like, what am I doing with that? If there ever was any information on this at all, it's been torn off. I don't know why I've got that bit of... Is that a clue? No, it's a letter. Right. It insists on having them overlap. Fine. Yeah, I know that. I can't do anything with that X. Oh, if I find the rest, you'd get a sort of position relative to whatever's on the rest. Let me go to Ambleside. Is that where my friend Simone is the librarian? That would make sense. It's a close by city. I could spend hours trawling the cells of the library, but unless Simone... Okay, I think it's Simone. I think that is from the perspective of Simone. So she found a book, and she hid it somewhere. And, like, your player's instinct says, ooh, let's figure out where she hid it. But actually, she's our friend. She seems pretty smart. She hid it. I'm going to assume she had a good reason. I don't think we should go looking for it. I think we should leave it where she left it. Reuben Ward. The Fox button was no help, I'm afraid. The Sisterhood still refused to be... Oh, he's a detective. The Sisterhood still refused to speak openly with me. Not that I have the time to pursue it properly. I'm rushed off my feet this week. There's been a body found up at the Swinside Stone Circle, and apparently it's a grisly one. Don't suppose you've got anything to help keep my lunch down? My stomach's never coped too well with the grisly ones. I wish, actually, that you could... that it would hide the label, and then you could, like, click to get the name. Because he doesn't know the name of what he wants. And I happen to, like, I remember recently seeing something that said it helps with gastrointestinal distress or whatever. And it would have been quite fun just to browse through and try and figure out where I saw that, like, testing my memory. But if you just tell me, it's a bit of a non-event. That, yeah. Soft long leaves. This is the one that I was given out of the blue. Smaller berries. I mean, it would have to mention the leaves in some way, wouldn't it? Oh, wait. I'm missing one here. This is Ren, isn't it? Ah, get off my screen. I'm sure that's Ren. It's ticked off, but we didn't label it. I'm sure that is Ren. I'm glad I noticed that while that was still fresh enough in my memory that I did remember what it was called. So, soft long leaves. Leaves are quite soft and they do look long. We should mention the frickin' flowers, but can't have everything. It could be that. That's a candidate. Put it to one side. We tried this one, didn't we? Yeah, nothing. Let's put that to the other side. What about this? Nothing about the leaves. Those leaves don't look like those leaves, do they? Because these ones come from low down. I suppose they do a bit. These seem much longer and just like they seem to start right from the base, whereas this is picturing them coming from the mid stem. Yeah. Long, flat leaves. In terms of long leaves. Did I try this one already? This is all I got. I suppose we'll have to risk it. Okay. That is Fennec. I definitely... Witch fig. Symptoms of infection. So that is Fennec. I definitely, from my memory of what the guy gave me when he mentioned Fennec, I would never have put that together. I thought he gave us one that didn't have flowers. Okay. Yeah, let's just go to another random place. Kind of interested in... Oh, somebody mentioned the stone circles, didn't they? It was... So it wasn't the Daughters, and it wasn't the one I've already been to. Oh wait, it was the one I've already been to. It was Swinside, right? Oh. Was I not meant to go there? Maybe that wasn't a lead, maybe that was he was just mentioning a place he'd been to. Didn't do me any favours, did it? It's the mailman. Morning. Rona Green handed this handed me this for you. She seemed in a good mood. Now, is she the one who's turning someone into a toad? I think so. Meant to tell you yesterday, but it slipped my mind. I discovered a plant on a recent trip to Grisdale Forest, just northeast of Rusland. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. I would have brought it back with me if the sisterhood had given me a moment alone, but they seem overly protective lately. Let me look. Oh damn it! Let me look at bios. Yeah, that's what I thought Verona Green was. Yeah, she's the one who wanted to turn someone into a toad. I'm not wrong. Okay. I should go back to the bios because I remember it was Grisdale Forest. What did she say exactly? Oh, sorry, it was a letter. It was a letter. I've still got the letter. Do I though? Okay, it's here. So, Grisdale Forest, just northeast of Rusland. Rusland. So, now would you say that is northeast of Rusland? Yeah, I think it is. If you say just northeast, 1 square northeast, seems pretty reasonable. Because the dot is the actual town, not the picture. From the moment I step off the road, I can't shake the feeling I'm being watched. Suddenly I find my way blocked by 3 women wearing green cloaks and holding short elm bows. Nobody may wander freely throughout the forest by order of the Arda, says the leader of the trio. I turn to walk back, but then again I have a few tricks up my sleeve. Oh. Am I gonna attack them? I don't like this, the way this is organised. I wish it was just tabs. I wish there's just a map tab and a book tab and stuff. Like, it seems cute at first, but you just have so little space. It's just annoying that you don't have room for all the things that you want to do and you lose track of them. Why is this... like, it keeps switching modes between, like, being locked into it versus it being like an object in the world. So I'm looking for Mellow Glow. Among other uses of the plant, most remarkable is it can pass unnoticed. Okay, this is cool. Sharp thorns that protect it from predators. Here's some thorns. That's nothing to go on. Oh god. Is it going to be a thing where... Because, like... Okay, maybe there's more to go on. This one at least mentions the thorns. And they look more like these thorns. Those thorns are a bit kind of straighter. Yeah. Whereas these are proper barbs. I was going to say, like, when you only have one trait to go on and none of the others match, like, none of the other traits match, and also none of the other plants have that trait, we as players are meant to make the leap of, like, okay, it must be this because I don't have anything else that's any closer. But actually, in this situation, you have no reason to suppose you do have this thing. I suppose in this particular case, basically the player character is telling me I do have Mellow Glow, but in most cases where people are coming to ask me for something, they don't know if I have it, and it's faulty logic to jump to the conclusion of, like, it must be this because nothing else is closer. Anyway, this is Mellow Glow. Chuckling to myself, I collect the plant that Verona talked about and take my leave. What a fucking nerd. Caballia, a rare plant that's believed to help the dead find peace in the afterlife. Jesus. That's a big one. Those who can afford it place wreaths from it at the graves of their loved ones. Caballia flowers almost always contain 6 petals. Planting a 7-petal flower is considered to bring good fortune. What plant did I get though? Because it won't be that. Okay, so it appeared there. I wish, like, that animation, instead of just shrinking, it should, like, lerp to the position on the shelf so I can see what it is. So, I got some weird thing. Don't know what it is. I did just figure out what mellow thingy was, didn't I? It was this one. Mellow Glow. Okay, so let's put it here. Let's find some labels. The old labelled shelf is getting pretty... I think the balance has shifted, right? There's now more labelled than unlabelled. Okay, that's dealt with. This one I haven't dealt with, but it's the one where I need warmth, right? Keep you warm. The camphor you gave me is helping me sleep, and I'm very grateful for it, but the visions are strong as ever. The woman in the jade mask appears in my dreams every night. That sounds familiar somehow. She screams at me, but I do not know why. And behind her, that presence is always there, dark and dreadful. I don't know what to do. The dreams feel like a warning that I don't understand. A mosaic of colour that refuses to come into focus. Some part of me wants to stare down that abyss, but I'm afraid. So I can give her Aguria or Candlewood. Now Candlewood is familiar. That's the smoky one, isn't it? Nope. Afflictions of the mind. So that sounds great for her, doesn't it? Let's see what Aguria is. When burned, can enhance psychic abilities and give strengthening clarity of visions and prophecies. Interesting. Interesting. So this feels like it's not a sort of straight up right-wrong choice. Or like, do you want her to block it out, or do you want her to receive it better? She says, the dreams feel like a warning that I don't understand. Refuses to come into focus. I'm inclined to give her better clarity on it. Like, blocking it out sounds good, but if she thinks it's a warning, she probably wants to know what the warning is. Like, even if we could block it out, she might just consciously be bothered by the fact that there was a warning that she didn't understand. So, Aguria, it's a very fluffy looking thing. Light blue flowers. Oh, thank fuck. Picture of the flower, description of the colour. Like rounded tufts of gentle lambswool characterize this plant. Do I fucking have it? It looks like that. Huh. Light blue. I don't think I have it. In the unlabeled section, anyway. Is it possible I've labelled it, even though it's not identified? Those are light bluish. I mean, these are absolutely. Blue flowers, light airy scent. Is it possible I'm wrong about Harlequin blue? I think I only labelled stuff if the game told me it was right. Bushy blue flower heads. Oh, and it had that weird thick stem. Yeah, I do remember being right about this. These ones shriek. Bushy blue flower heads. Okay, am I missing something? Light blue fluffy. Light blue fluffy, no. Like that's... Yeah, this isn't... That's dark blue. I agree. That's not fluffy at all. Damn, I wanna give her a better vision, but I don't think I have the damn plant for it. I am pretty satisfied that it is not in my unlabeled collection. So, either it's in the labeled collection and it's mislabeled, or it's in the labeled collection and it's unlabeled and I just haven't noticed there's an unlabeled one here. I can't see one jumping out at me. And it's... this is the lemon peel one. I think we confirmed that, didn't we? Yeah, both these are confirmed. Damn, what do I do? I don't want to give her the other one, don't want her to block it out. Maybe she's going to keep coming back. And maybe later I'll have the plant. Some part of me wants to stare down that abyss, but I'm afraid. I'm going to be so embarrassed if you're all seeing a light blue fluffy plant in my unlabeled collection and I'm not. What about that one? Fox button. Did I already try this? I think I did. Smells of nothing. Real helpful. If it's got a tick by it and I labelled it, it's hard to see that it could be wrong. So the other one I do have, Candlewood, we talked about that, didn't we? Is the red flower that provides a shielding effect. Long, thin stems grow among tall leaves. This sounds like this, doesn't it? Excuse me. Bright red flowers and of thin stems. Yeah, that's probably Candlewood. Protection against afflictions of the mind. It's not bad. Let me just check this one. No. Okay, I'm going to label this one. I think I have to give it to her just because I don't have the other one. I think the other one's a better choice, but I just don't have it. Feel bad about it. Hate to be a bad apothecary. Worryless. These symptoms of anxiety. Well, got something labelled, I guess. Let's hope that warning isn't about anything real. Yeah, let's explore. Should we try going to the... Oh, you know what? Maybe if we go to the gable, it might ask us for a plant. It might even tell us what plant we need to use. Turn back down unless I have Brimlock. I don't think I do have Brimlock. I don't think that's even in my book, is it? Oh, maybe it is in the book. It is in the book. Aha! Rescued by a draft making warming effect. When conditions are just right, produces small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. So it could be something that doesn't have flowers, because it's only in the right conditions. Waxy. You know what? I think that could be it. The leaves really look like dead ringer for the diagram. Ha! I already had it. And I'm presently rewarded. The Sunset Mountcap. Solis Ocasum. The Sunset Mountcap. Wow, I wouldn't have read that as a C. Is a type of fungus with domed caps, sometimes called the Stinking Mountcap as a result of its unpleasant odour. It is thought to deter unwanted souls and spirits from entering the home and is often placed in doorways. It is mildly toxic to humans, should not be eaten. But what did I get? Was it this? It would be nice to sort of feel like I was accumulating a familiarity with this book and the things in it. Like if I'd read the unidentified entries enough times that I started to get a sense of like, ooh, this is the orange flower with the grey leaves. I've been hearing about this. But that's not happened. You know how like, you know, you play GTA long enough and you start to get a sense of the lay of the land, and you're like, oh, I'm here, I just need to go left and then right, and I'll be at this other place, or you know, I know the mall is down here. Not getting that feeling with this, and it feels like it doesn't feel impossible. It doesn't feel like an unachievable goal. It's just that it's always so clear cut. They always tell you this is you're looking for Aguria, you're looking for Brimlock, you're looking for this. So you don't need to read the other entries, you just need to look at one entry and then cross-reference it to that. They don't really do the other way around. At least not often. So these letters are both dealt with. I guess put them in the archive. It's funny, clues automatically go in the archive, but letters don't. Should I check again? I think I noticed, I can't remember if I actually said this last time, but that symbol is on my board here for one thing, although upside down, and it's on like the game's logo, it's on the back of those clue cards, all of those have that symbol on it. And the game's story seems to be about a missing book of I don't know, dangerous power. I would bet that when we find that book it has this symbol on it. And given that, I would bet it's a book about plants, given the nature of the game as well. And I would bet that this plant is one of particular interest. But yeah, beyond that, I don't know if there's anything I can do with it. One place is called Dungeon Gill. Good old Dungeon Gill. And they scramble up through the wooded ravine. The jagged outline of Jake's Rake becomes... I don't know why Jake's Rake makes me laugh, but it does. Becomes intimidatingly visible. Jake's Rake is very intimidating in the distance, but that will have to wait for another day. The fertile forest is lush and enticing as a plethora of colourful plants and trees. Oh, a plethora of colourful plants and trees, but I don't find anything rare enough to take back with me. Fine. Be like that. Margaret Elsbeth. We don't come to Windermere often, but I heard about your shop, and I said to Francis we simply must pay a visit. It's a wonderful breath of life in an otherwise dreary town. It is quite dreary, in fairness. It's rained for 5 days straight now. I'm the green-fingered one, and it's not really his cup of tea, but I persuaded him the trip would do him good, and besides, he'll be wanting to take a boat out on the lake. Do you want something to make him float? Shame about this awful weather, though. Yep. You must come to Scissor. We have a small library with some books on plants that my grandfather acquired many years ago. If there's one other book on plants in this whole fucking world, it would change my life. I've been to a fucking library run by my friend, and she had nothing. I mean, she's given me individual bits of research, but, like, it does seem like there's only one book on plants in the world. Okay, Lisburg. Where do we find Lisburg? Not immediately seeing it. Oh, Sisburg. Did she say Sisburg? Not Lisburg. Sisburg. Wait, not even Berg, just Sizurg. I've been saying this all wrong. Sizurg. Okay, great, thanks. What a nice lady. I mean, yeah, let's just go there. It's gonna be weird. I'm gonna beat her home. She's gonna get to Sizurg, and I'm just gonna be standing there like, yeah, I came! Like, cool it, dude. I saw it on the map, and now I can't see it on the map. I can't, like, zoom out does nothing right now, so I don't know what you want from me. Am I not allowed to see the whole map anymore? Oh, I just want it to be normal! Okay. Right, it's there. Just north of Arnside. For some reason, when I go to the compass view, I can't see it. Right, it's here. It just zooms you in so much that everything's different. I am greeted enthusiastically by Lady Elspeth herself, who is like, wow, I hardly noticed you 2 feet behind me my whole journey home. She's very talkative and has many questions on horticulture that I do my best to answer as she takes me on a tour of the gardens. Oh, you must take a sample of this back with you, she exclaims, pointing out a plant that I do not recognise. But before I can stop to take a look, she has already whisked me on to the next. And this one too, she says. I am quite exhausted by the time we make it to the library, and I don't have time to make as thorough a study as I would like. Nevertheless, I am able to find an interesting entry that I note down. Ah, I got an entry. Don't forget these, Lady Elsbeth cries as I make to leave. She thrusts the plants from the gardens into my hands, and I thank her warmly. I think... So this is going to be a bunch of other pages for my book. I think that's the answer to why there are no other books on plants in this world, is that the way they model you finding new books is that you actually just find individual new pages, because they want it to be more granular. But I kind of wish that I had a book of like 8 plants, and I found like, 6 of them early on, and then bit by bit you get the other 2. And at some point during that you get a second book of rarer plants, and every time you know something's rare you go to the rare book. And then you could build up a kind of library of like, oh, I know just where to look. Like as you get, I just want that building familiarity. I want to like feel more and more like I'm in this world, and like I, as a player, have some expertise. I feel like so far all the expertise is just in what the game has handed me on a plate, and I've kind of learned nothing. I've just accumulated data. Energy boost. Like that mountain one was, I mean, it was both an example of it refusing to do that, and also an example of me failing to be good at that, which is I knew I needed something to keep me warm. I kind of browsed the book for a while, I got bored of doing that, and I gave up. And then you don't need to do that at all. It would have been pointless to really be studious about that, because if you just click on the mountain, it tells you the name of the plant you need. And I suppose, arguably, that demonstrates why they don't do it that way, because it was boring for me to read that book. But again, that's because the book keeps expanding every 3 seconds. If I just knew there's something in the basic book that does warmth, and, you know, it's 8 plants long, I can read 8 plants, especially if I've already found 6 of them. So just like, if it was me, I would be designing this game to always push you to reach a bit beyond what we've told you, reach a bit beyond what we've pointed you to, handed you on a plate, get you to just engage a little bit beyond the syllabus. You know, do a bit of extracurricular activity and show an interest. I am just fully a teacher now, apparently. Philip Shaw. Mushroom. Red spores. Moves in the dark. That's all I've got. Any ideas? I know exactly what that is. That's the Wandering Boo. Alright, well that just disproved everything I said, because it turns out I have built up some knowledge, and I was able to do that off the top of my head. So that's kind of nice. That is the first time they've ever asked for an already identified plant, I think. Probably should have asked him what he wanted that for. Because what does it do? Oh, it's really sharp, that's all we know. Yeah, I fancy going exploring again. Should we check out Killington Lake? Hey, fuck you, buddy. I have my reasons. It's called Killington Lake. You don't want to check out what Killington Lake is like? Why do they call it that? Why is it not title case? I feel like just going back to Scissor again. Hey, I had a really good time. Can I see your garden again? Can we hang out? Selena Scott. They're saying Black Coombe is haunted now. Bradley Miller told me he saw a ghost of a huge deer, antlers and all, but then Bradley Miller also says he can talk to squirrels. Either way, there's something evil in them hills, and I'm not taking any chances. Or for what happened to that poor young man up at Swinside. Oh yeah, that's where I went and I just got freaked out. I've come for some Stinking Mountcap. You better give me that Stinking Mountcap or you'll be toast. Oh, I've gone into weird mode again. How... I suppose I can use it like this. It just feels like pointlessly huge. Oh. Oh, it's a different name, isn't it? Sunset Mountcap is also known as Stinking Mountcap. Also, it looks so much like Mount Wrap. So, type of fungus with domed caps. Unpleasant odor. Toxic. So, an unidentified fungus, because it's not identified, right? No. I've really let these merge, apparently. No, they've let them merge. They put these plants in the middle, didn't they? That's their fault. So. Was there a picture? Yeah, it's domed, so it could be this. Oh, you know what? I see flies on this one. Strongly of soured milk, bad enough to make my eyes water. This looks a lot like it, doesn't it? Yeah, domed caps, unpleasant odor, matches everything we know. The flies feel like an extra hint. Henchuck. The fruit of the henchuck can have startling effects on the memory. Speaking of memory, I'm not going to read this because I need to... Like, there's an awkward period between when you tell me something is correct and when I actually get the label down. I'm going to write it as Mount/Stinkcap. I mean, not that I ever look at these fucking labels. I don't really want things to go there because that turns out to be where it puts new plants, and that's awkward for me. So maybe I'll just try and shifty everyone a bit further away from that ambiguous no man's land. Alright, end of day. I'm going to do an end of day trip. Travel is incredibly fast in this world. Maybe I just have like a fucking motorbike. Shall I go to Jake's Rake? It was mentioned when I went to the other place. Oh. Fine. Alright. Sorry for having a spirit of adventure. You're obsessed with Jake's Rake when we went to the other place. Yeah, there's that sort of... I keep wanting to say tulip. It's not like a tulip, is it? And then I want to say deadly nightshade. Nightshade feels right. She lives alone in the castle to the northwest of the abbey. She buried her husband 3 miles to the east where the Everheart grows. So this sounds like, you know, if this game's taught me anything, it's like, don't think like a human, think like a plant machine. All I give a fuck about is the plant you mentioned. So I think all I'm supposed to get out of this is the Everheart. At 15, her mother, strong, dependable, loving, was struck down by typhoid. The girl drew inward as her father turned to drink. I have a weird wheel, don't I? I just remembered that. Actually, this... I'm just wondering if I look at it, is there any... Well, I'd like to just flip it over. So this, like, it has a bunch of symbols, but none of them are this symbol. I just wondered if this sort of lined up to anything, but no. Doesn't really help us, does it? This one feels pretty solvable, doesn't it? Castle northwest of an abbey. That's a castle. And northwest is that direction. So that it's not that one. Shall I look for places just with castle in their name? That's a castle. Northwest of an abbey. Hey, here we go. Let's get out of this mode. But still, when do I ever want the map folded? I would just put it away if I wanted it to be away. She lives alone in the castle to the northwest of the abbey. She buried her husband 3 miles to the east. So she lives in the castle. 3 miles to the east is where the Everheart grows. And that would be 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile. So it's just northeast of the abbey. Let's go there. A dead tree, its bark cracked and blackened by fire, stands alone on the hillside. Off to one side, a patch of flowers grows on a low mound. Kind of pretty. Hey, Swift. I must thank you. Last night, for the first time in weeks, my mind was calmed. I'm worried about you, Faye. I wanted to give you the other plant, but I just don't have it. I am no longer tormented by visions of the woman in the jade mask and that terrible monster. Now I'm wondering if you have some worry lists to keep my over-anxious thoughts at bay. So, I have the description of worry lists. Do I have the plant? Wow. Thanks, dude. You mention it has flowers, but you're not going to draw them, and you don't describe anything about its appearance at all. It's a picture that misses out one of its key features, and a description that misses out all of its key features. Inhaling the smell of the flowers. I think this one had odorless flowers. Yeah, it did. This one doesn't have any flowers. Now, what's that? Sweet scent like strawberry dipped in honey. Sounds nice. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that description? I do feel like the description, the inspection is going to have to mention the smell, because that's all we've got to go on. We've got a picture of leaves and a smell. And the leaves... Like, what is that? Because that's going from the tip of something. I feel like that's an unusual pattern. So this one did mention the smell, this one didn't. Those leaves look pretty good, but those are fruits, not flowers. These smell wonderful. Those leaves actually do put me in mind of this. And smelling wonderful is something you'd associate with worryless. What did this one say again? Strawberry dipped in honey. I wonder if like sweet scent and pleasant scent are meant to be like really distinct things in this lexicon. Smells like sweet rhubarb. I mean, all I'll say about that one is they haven't drawn the sort of spine of the leaf, and this one they have, so I'm less inclined to think that one. This is my best bet. Oh yeah, okay, now I see. I don't know, that is like a little branching point that looks like that branching point, but this one is 4 leaves and this is just for flowers. I think it's that one. I just sort of get a vibe that I'm supposed to pick that one. And I'm right. Hot pot. Oh wait. It's so confusing to, like, you finally nail down what something is and then they tell you about something completely different. Let me finish labeling this one and then tell me about something new. Alright. Yeah, just to explore. Let's go to the old man. Striking views at the top of the so-called Old Man of Coniston never fail to induce awe and wonder. Sadly, there are few people with the leisure to explore its heady heights. Today it's just me and the sheep. Have I tried just putting this card on the map in just a sort of arbitrary way? It's just, interface makes it really hard to do that. I mean, the relative zoom levels are sort of... I just wondered, like, what could that rip correspond to? Could it be coastline or something? Wouldn't make any sense for it to correspond to a coastline. There's no reason to think that it would, and yet it does. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. How would someone even do that if they wanted to? They'd have to cut that specifically. Like, who is leaving these fucking clues? Anyway, the answer is in N6. So, I am told you can get more will to explore by watering your flowers, which is the only reason I'm going to do that. I'm not seeing it yet. I mean, it goes up over time pretty quick anyway. Can I use a label on something that isn't a plant? No. I might as well see a customer in the meantime. Oh, it's Simone. I met a strange man on the road to Sedberg not 2 days ago. Stranger still, he asked after you. He said he had something for you, don't ask me what. I told him where to find you, but he looked stricken when I mentioned Undermere. Said he doesn't come near towns at all if he can help it. He was headed west. At least I think he was. Said he was looking for the Winster Spring. I'll write this down for you. Anyway, that's my news. Did you manage to find the plant I wanted? Yes, I did. What did I do with it? Common trouse. I don't remember anything about it at all. You can't zoom in enough to see your own labels already. Like, I can just about make them out, but not enough to see at a glance. Common trouse. There you go. Just going to trust my past judgment. Man wanted to meet you, headed west from Sidburg, possibly near source of the Winster. Sure, I'm not going to do that though, I'm going to do N6. Gentle sound of flowing water, the sunlight through scattered clouds, a reset. I always want just more narrative explanation. Do you think those have now appeared in the middle of my label section, which is a pain in the ass, but I noticed they're in the center of where my view is set to currently? I wonder if that's the rule, like wherever your view is set to, that's where they appear, in which case I should leave my view set to the unlabeled side. This has got very out of line, hasn't it? Okay, so let's figure this one out then. Sedberg doesn't... Oh, Sedberg there. Headed west from Sedberg, he'd almost have to be. Possibly near to the source of the River Winston. What? That's Winster, isn't it? Not Winston. But either way, this is the Kent, this is the Gilpin, this is the Spirit, this is the Kent. Where would... If it's west of Sedberg... River Loon... Oh, Winster, there it is. I mean... Should we go directly to the source of there? I'm inclined to go like one tile east of it, but that feels real specific. Like, why would he specifically be there? Maybe we just go straight to the source. I think that's just west of Sedberg is just giving us a sense of where to look. The Hermit's camp is easy to find, nestled between two boulders above the spring. The cooled remains of a fire ringed by stones is the only immediate sign that anyone was here. I call out, but there's no reply. The Hermit is not here. A more thorough search of the campsite yields something interesting. Tucked off to one side, I find some broken pieces of wood arranged on the floor. Hello. Down to right 3. I didn't mean south 2. 1, 2, right east 3. 1, 2, 3. Which gets you to I or L25. So we can do that. It was here, I believe. The camp at the Winster Spring has led me to another camp of sorts where I'm greeted by an eccentric man. Oh yes, yes, ho ho ho, the man says. You must take this, take it, take it. At his insistence, I receive the looking glass that he thrusts into my hands. He places an envelope delicately on top. Ho ho, it's no use to me anymore, ho ho, no use. Don't forget the red, the red, the red, the red, oh ho, Abony. I am sure that he is quite mad. Item. It's not even a plant. Someone's giving me something that isn't a plant. What is this? Oh my god, what the fuck? It is said that the red Abony plant has the property of uncovering that which is hidden or secret. I have perfected a device designed to extract from the plant in concert with a viewing window in order to permit the user to see magics otherwise invisible to the naked eye. Fucking hell, we're going full magic. I feel like the map is not what this is meant for. I feel like this is probably to do with plants. But maybe a plant I don't have yet. I'm also curious if it interacts with this in some way. It's strange to give you this at the start and never mention it. Conrad Stanway. I'm not long for this world, holy shit. Comes on a bit strong. And I've decided that I want to be buried in a grave decorated with the rare and beautiful Cabalia, like a Drea huntsman with their Duranthium-covered tombs. God, this guy's a bit full of himself. I know you're dying and all, but God, give it a rest. Alright. Cabalia. That's this one. Oh, fair enough. This is the one that gives you peace in the afterlife. Always contains 6 petals. That's real specific and I like it. Those leaves don't look quite the right shape. Those all have 5 petals. This is 5 as well. That's 5. There's more than 6, isn't it? That's 4. Oh, what about this? That looks like 6. That was a soft purple with a sweet scent. Things that have positive effects seem to smell sweet in this game. Let me just get the bigger picture. So 6, 6. Yeah, I think it's just this. Cabalia. Eyebright. Venomous. I wonder if there's anything else lurking in my connection that I actually did identify but didn't label. I don't know why I keep this out. Hello, it's Jade Mask. Your reputation is growing, Horticulturist. I hear you're the person to come to for plants that are difficult to acquire. My head feels like it is being torn in two lately. I think it's because you're visiting someone in their dreams. I'm looking for some hop heart. It'd be really funny just to fuck off to a different city right now. Inhaling smoke from the dried leaves of this plant can provide pain relief. That's a very particular look. Firm leaves grow up the stems, leading to blue flowers. Hey, that's real specific. Sounds like this one. Dark blue flowers, smells like sweet rhubarb. I don't have enough to be conclusive about that. Firm leaves grow up the stems, leading to blue flowers. Could it be this? Stiff leaves. Firm leaves grow up the stems. Yeah, it's this, isn't it? Copper Caledonian. Rejuvenation effect. But it's a curse. You may appear younger. You quickly become frail and brittle. Jesus. Let me not forget this one. Hop Heart. This feels like it's been a long day. Let's just go to Blackcomb. I see a pit full of skulls, some deer, fox, badger, some human. I wish I had not come. Oh dear. It's going to be some sense of dread, isn't it? Alright. Verona Green. What happened to that kid? Reuben Ward has called on my unique expertise to aid in his investigation of the Swinside Stone Circle. Unique expertise. Ha! He knows how to flatter an old woman when he wants something. I thought about telling him to suck an egg. Give it a good long thought, actually. But my curiosity has got the better of me. He must be desperate, and if he's coming to me, I'll bet they've found something juicy down there. Signs of a ritual sacrifice, maybe. I went there, and all I got was some rising dread. I could do with some witch fig to take with me. It always comes in useful. Alright. We have that in our list. But what is it? Plant that is said to have many uses, including easing symptoms of infection, soaking up moisture and detecting the presence of certain compounds. It is well liked by butterflies. That'll be handy. It has similar leaves to the fever kiss plant, which it is often confused with. Oh god. Thanks for telling me what those leaves look like in any fucking way. So, we're looking for something with fruits. That kind of has fruits. Sort of has fruits, although I wouldn't call them figs. No, really no. Does that have something? Let me see, do we have Fever Kiss in our library? It doesn't ring a bell. Oh, we do. Fever Kiss red berries. Energy boost. And this has red berries, but they're not... Oh, this is Fever Kiss. Small red berry, that's definitely Fever Kiss. So, this, I know we were just told something looks like Fever Kiss that isn't, but I am pretty sure of that one. That's as conclusive as you get. So Witch Fig looks similar, or something about it looks similar. The leaves look similar, right? Similar leaves to the Fever Kiss plant, which suggests that something about it is not similar. I think it's this one. Look at that, look how similar they are. Small yellow berries, that's all we get. That was already in my shortlist for being something with fruits. I am gonna give that one a go. Ha! Alright, some deduction is coming into this now. Rather than just navigating, you know, faulty entries. So we kind of got 2 for 1 there, didn't we? Is it still not the end of today? Maybe I'm just going to churn through the customers till it is. Isidore Burbage. Burbage, sorry. I never see anybody in a shop. You're in my shop. It's a daily surprise to me that you're still in business. Believe me, I wouldn't be in here if I didn't have to be, especially with that damn cat still here. I need some Bishop's Parasol for a work-related matter. Don't we all, mate? A mushroom found in dark, damp places, feeding on any light that gets close to it. It can seem to draw light in, enveloping its surroundings in darkness. The gills on the underside of this mushroom seep a milky fluid that can be consumed as a treatment for stomach pains. Okay, it's a mushroom. We don't have anything to go on shape-wise. it can seem to draw light in. So a dark thing. That does feel like this one, doesn't it? That does not seem like something that would draw light in. Gills on the underside seep a milky fluid. So, just see what it says. Smells rotten. Doesn't help. Red spores glowing on it. Viscous white liquid can be seen oozing from its underside. There we go. It's this one. So yeah, draw light in. I wouldn't say that, but I think we got pretty conclusive evidence there. Maybe I'm supposed to just be playing this much faster. I definitely put too much thought into some of those clues. It does feel like it's just now starting to get to the sort of, I don't know, more... I'm getting in the swing of identifying things. I've got a hang of like what level of uncertainty they are comfortable with. Oh, I can change the colour of these. Oh, that's nice. I don't know why I would, but... Okay, cool. We will probably end it there. Maybe I'll just go far enough to get the new clue to be tantalizing. Old man of Coniston looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current floating gently southwards to the fork. The old man is a mountain. Not long after, the girl left home. Her father wept, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and did not look for her. Light on clues, but big on melancholy. We are not that far through this. This is quite a ways to go. I thought it was going to be maybe shorter than this, but I'm enjoying it.